Welcome to Jotunheim Whispers, and this week I am trying to reconnect with my cat yet again, and he is hitting me once again. Will I be successful in this? Well, well, I won't. Um, okay. That was a great beginning of an episode. Yet again, I I apologize for everything. I apologize if you had to hear the previous episodes. And I apologize for this intro because it was weird, but I was full of hope. I guess sometimes that doesn't work. So, wait, wait, just wait. I have my notepad right here, and I need to check something. So. Oh no. Oh no, I just realized that today's. Oh, now you can see my cat if you are watching this on YouTube. So, head over there, I guess, to see his little furry butt. And this is crazy. Um, he's such a good kitty. So yeah, I just realized that today's topic is empathy. Um, so this intro isn't really good for this, but it's okay. Let's just, try to be more serious, I guess, but not too serious because this topic is already too much. So, empathy is painful. Yes, let's just start with me talking about autism a little bit and some of the unfairness that comes with, some of the researchers. So, I guess one of the first things that people think about autism is the lack of empathy, which is crazy because, like, on paper, you could justify that, but if you meet any autistic person, if you are autistic yourself, you have to realize that it's the opposite. Because all of the autistic, like YouTubers, for example, look at them. They care about people so much. They care about feelings. They are mostly supportive of the minorities. They care about human rights. They donate to charities and stuff. And you can see that in their eyes that they are sincere about it. It's not like some of the YouTubers where you can see that their eyes are just dead, and whenever they do anything, it's just, for the cloud. Here, like, you see the best people ever, and then, like, a couple years after, they're like, oh, I found out I had autism this time. And, like, yeah, of course. Like, you look at yourself. That's why. And so, for anyone who still has this stereotype, I just want to say, it's okay. You cannot know everything in the world, so hopefully someone who is listening to this is going to realize that it's a mistake. It's not true at all. And so I guess I can share a bit of my own experiences with empathy. So, oh, it's tough. It's so tough for me sometimes. There are days when I am more sensitive than others, and on those days, I just come on TikTok and I just see some, people that need help, like, cat shelters or just animal shelters, or single, like, people who are asking for help for their animals. And on those days, I just simply cry. I cry the whole days because it is so, so, so painful for me to even think about the fact that, so many people and animals are suffering in this world right this moment, and it is so difficult to help them. It is so difficult for them to stay, alive at this point. So, I mean, I try to help, like, animal shelters in Ukraine as much as I can, considering, our salaries and stuff. Phew, but it's so tough. Recently I have seen a TikTok of a woman in the Philippines. Like, a person just filmed this lady that was standing on a street, um with, like, a plate full of, what are they called, sorry, pastelas. And she was just standing on the street trying to sell those. And oh my god, and she was bare feet, and she was, sorry. Oh, I wasn't expecting it. She was looking up, like, at the sky, and you could see that, she was trying to. I'm so sorry. She was just trying to, pay her bills and stuff, and it was such a sad video. So I knew this episode was going to be tough, but not that quick. So yeah, that video really, really messed me up. And on that day, I also saw so many, cat videos trying to. Jesus. Trying to raise money for some surgeries and medication for cats and stuff like that. And it's just so sad. Oh my god. I am so sorry. I did not expect myself to just, do this. I just remembered all of those, people, and I feel so sorry for them. So that's the downside of, being empathetic. But it is so important right now to have this in you, because so many people are horrible, horrible. Maybe in a sense that they, the obvious one, that they are mean, or they want to be rude to anyone, or they cause harm to others. But also, it's horrible when people are just so cold that they don't even consider caring for anyone. And like for some people it's even funny to see someone being hurt, which is so insane. And you see that on the internet all the time. And honestly, why does this happen? Like, there is already so much pain in the world, there is so much suffering, there are so many problems. Why do you want to cause even more of those? Why is it satisfying for you to make someone cry or to make fun of someone who is trying to just live their life? What is up with that? Why do people not have this care for each other? I thought we were supposed to care. My whole life, I've been really, really forcing like almost painful feelings on my brain because I've been considering each person's feelings whenever I've been talking to anyone. So even if there is a situation where a person, you know, tries to harm me mentally, I cannot defend myself because, like, deep in my heart, I'm like, well, I don't want to hurt this person. Although they are hurting me in this moment, right now, I cannot reply, I cannot answer with anything because, well, I am still empathetic towards them and I cannot work through that, although it's really hurting me. Like, I'm hurting myself this way, but I'm not even sure I want to change that. Sometimes I think, there is a situation where I am treated unfairly, but I am better off just letting it happen, just to not cause any stress for anyone around, I guess. So I don't know. It just feels so weird for me to see people say rude things without a reason and not to care about it, not to, calculate how everyone who will hear you will respond to that. I mean, why don't you have that in you already? That seems like a quality that has to be in any person. So I guess I cannot fix that, although I wish I could. I guess the only thing to change the situation about empathy is to, you know, talk about it here. Although I'm not sure anyone's listening, well, I am almost positive that no one is. But if you are, and if you are agreeing with me right now, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, sorry, I don't know what that was, but I am weird, so I can do things like this. Now, now let's just switch to something different. So, what I have also noticed about autism is its connection to narcissism, and don't like jump to conclusions. That's not what I mean, that autism is narcissism at all. It's quite the opposite. I just want to talk about how, the pattern recognition that is an autistic trait helps with discovering narcissism in other people so well that, I consider this my personal superpower, that I immediately can clock in a bad person even though they behave like they're a good person. So I've had this type of encounter with a couple people in my workplace where, you know, they are mostly men that consider themselves, I don't know, attractive or what, like they have charisma, or honestly, I don't get that. Again, I am neurospicy and ROAs. Just a fun fact about me. So, not interested in any way. And so, with this quality of mine, anytime they would talk to me or any other person with me around, I would see them, smiling, like trying to be charming, but I would see the deadness of their eyes. And that's what helps me clock it. This narcissism is like, oh, you're analyzing how other people are perceiving you right now. Your smile is fake right now because you're thinking about your appearance this moment. So you're not connecting with anyone. You're not really participating in a conversation. You're actively just trying to make yourself look the best way. And as an honest person, I am trying to, stop myself from judging them immediately. But on a physical level, there appears a response for me to just, push them away as far as I can. Not physically, obviously. I'm not a violent person, but um, I guess psychologically, my behavior changes in a way that I am letting them know that I know what you're doing right now. So it's not working on me. And so there was a conversation, I guess, with me and a coworker of mine. I don't want to give too many details. Let's just say that um he was being irresponsible. Yes. So yeah, like he was disrespecting people in the workplace in a charming ways, quote unquote, um, like expecting everyone to just forgive him for ditching his tasks, ditching his responsibilities. And I was not having it. And like I said something to him, or he said something first, I don't remember. But it was something of the sort that, it's okay, right? And I saw that look in his eyes, that he was expecting me to just smile and nod and say, "Oh, of course, honey, like you are okay." And it's like it's not gonna work, dude. It's not gonna work. I'm autistic. Like I'm not playing those games. I heard someone say that, you know, autistics and narcissists play a chess game, but while narcissists are considering their, like, calculating all their moves, the autistics are eating the pieces, which is kind of true. And so, yeah, you can play the game all you want, nothing's gonna work because I'm gonna eat your pieces. So let's go back to empathy real quick. Um, what you also know is that narcissists don't have empathy, and that's why I hate them even more. Like, there are narcissists that are aware and they're working on this. I've just seen a couple people on TikTok like that. I'm not a doctor, I cannot like speak on behalf of them or anything, but the way they were talking sounded like, they were trying to make themselves better. So hopefully this will become a trend in the future. And I will talk about my experience with a narcissist person in another episode that I will be filming next. So, for you, it will be next week. Some preview for you. So, yes, those people mostly don't have empathy, and I think that's what makes you the scariest person ever. Like, I had a therapist about 4 years ago, and we only had 4 sessions. And he admitted to me that he wasn't a real therapist, which was crazy to me. It was insane. Come on. So at the time, a psychiatrist diagnosed me with a wrong disorder that I don't have. Like, years after, now I know that I have epilepsy and autism and OCD. At the time, I didn't know any of that. And so I was diagnosed with something else. And this therapist was like, "Oh, I'm so jealous of you. I wish I had your disorder because I am anxious and depressed, and it sucks." And I was like, "E- Excuse me? What? Um, the fuck?" Um, so that was one of the reasons I ditched him. Uh, that was weird. But also, we have had a conversation in which, I was talking about the injustice in the world, the fairness and unfairness, and how frustrated I am. He didn't clock the autism there, I guess. And he was like, well, but I guess, um, you you would wish you would kill everyone but the puppies and the kitties. And I was like, well, I wasn't saying anything about killing everyone, but okay. Um, I care about the animals, sure. And he then said, but what if there is a sexist person, but they are a doctor? Or, no, no, we were talking about rapists, so that's even better. So he asked, what if it's this type of person, but they are a doctor? Let's just, let it sink in for a second. So that was his question. So, what if a rapist is a doctor? And it wasn't a question of, general morals or, like, what would you really do? No, he was like arguing with me in that sense of like justifying the actions and the existence of a rapist by them being a doctor. And my question to that was, so you're saying that a doctor is a rapist and it's okay for you? So do you think they are doing their job really? What do you think happens if a doctor is a rapist? Do they stop being a rapist in their workplace? Like, how is that an argument against my statement that, rapists and sexists and racists and transphobic and homophobic people shouldn't exist? Like, where is the logic in that? How can you be arguing with me? What? This is crazy. Like, how could that person be a therapist? But again, in one of the episodes, I already talked about a therapist that, I came to her as to a neurologist with my physical symptoms, and she turned them into psychosomatic bullshit, which is not correct because I've had like medical procedures done and they found some fucked up shit in my body and she didn't care. And so my question is it just in my country or is it everywhere that each therapist just sucks ass and has no empathy? How can that how? So on this note, I guess I will end this episode because I am now really frustrated. I need to go get some cashews to calm myself down. And so thank you. Thank you for listening to this. You can listen to the next episode next Friday. It's Jotunheim Whispers on everything. So it's Spotify and YouTube and some others. And you can search frostjotun and I will be everywhere. So you can find my art. Yeah, thank you for being here. Bye!